Texas carries a kind of identity that feels larger than the map it sits on, as if its story didn't fully end when it joined the United States. From flags and slogans to stadium chants and license plates, one symbol keeps appearing again and again, but its origin is not as straightforward as it looks. So why is Texas called the Lone Star State? And why does a single star hold so much meaning for an entire region? To understand that, we have to go back to a time when Texas was not yet part of the United States, but was instead fighting to define itself on its own terms. Let's dive into it, right here, on History of Simple Things. Before Texas became a symbol of independence, it was part of Mexico under the region known as Coahuila y Tejas, where different communities began forming their own identity separate from central authority. During the early 19th century, settlers in the region used various flags and symbols, many of which included stars, to express unity and local resistance. Over time, the idea of a single star started to stand out as a powerful representation of independence and shared purpose among these groups. This symbolic direction did not appear overnight, but gradually developed as tensions grew between settlers and the Mexican government. That early foundation eventually set the stage for the Texas Revolution, where questions of governance, autonomy, and identity became central to everything unfolding in the region at the time overall. When the Texas Revolution began in 1835, the push for independence from Mexican rule intensified, and symbols became increasingly important in unifying different groups. Early revolutionary flags often included stars as signs of unity and defiance carried by settlers and military groups involved in the struggle. After Texas declared independence in 1836 and formed the Republic of Texas, the single star began to represent its new sovereign status. One of the earliest official flags of the Republic featured a lone star on a blue field, emphasizing separation from both Mexico and the United States. This marked the beginning of the Lone Star as a national identity rather than just a regional symbol among settlers. Over time, this image became closely tied to the idea of a separate and independent Texas. In 1839, the Republic of Texas officially adopted what became known as the Lone Star flag, the design that still influences the modern state flag today. The flag features a vertical blue stripe with a single white five-pointed star, alongside horizontal white and red stripes representing traditional values associated with the Republic. The single star was chosen to symbolize unity under one government and shared identity among citizens of the young nation. It also reflected loyalty, courage, and peace, which were ideals the Republic of Texas wanted to project at the time. Once adopted, the Lone Star flag quickly became one of the most important symbols of Texas identity and independence. It reinforced the idea of Texas as a distinct political entity with its own enduring national story over time. When Texas joined the United States in 1845 as the 28th state, it carried with it the legacy of its previous existence as an independent republic. Unlike many other state symbols that changed after statehood, Texas retained its Lone Star identity without significant alteration. This continuity helped preserve the memory of Texas as once being a separate nation with a unique political history. Even during its brief time as part of the Confederacy in the 1860s, the Lone Star remained a central emblem. Through these transitions, the symbol continued to represent independence, resilience, and regional identity. It became a lasting reminder that Texas's identity was shaped long before it became part of the United States. Over time, the Lone Star evolved beyond a flag symbol and became a broader cultural identity for Texas. By the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the phrase Lone Star State was widely used in education, government, and popular culture. It came to represent not only independence, but also ideas of self-reliance, pride, and strong regional identity among its people. As Texas developed into one of the largest and most economically influential states in the country, the symbol remained central. It continued to shape how Texans saw themselves and how others perceived the state across generations. Today, the Lone Star is one of the most recognizable state symbols in the United States, deeply tied to Texas identity and history. It represents the period when Texas existed as an independent republic between 1836 and 1845, before joining the United States. The flag itself, officially adopted in 1839, has remained largely unchanged, making it one of the longest-standing state flag designs in the country. It remains a symbol that connects historical experience with modern state pride in a single image. It is also widely used in education, public buildings, and cultural references across the state today. What makes the Lone Star more than just a symbol is how it continues to shape the way Texas sees itself even today. It's not just about a past moment of independence, but about the lasting idea that identity can be carried forward through something as simple as a single image. Long after the Republic of Texas disappeared, the meaning behind that Lone Star never really did. It became a quiet reminder that history doesn't just stay in the past. It lingers in symbols, in culture, and in the way people understand where they come from. And in Texas, that single star still speaks louder than words ever could. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.